Jets tweeted out, we're parting ways with Aaron Rodgers.
Which actually matters because under NFL rules, they changed this a handful of years ago. Now, the moment the team announces they are going to release a player, the tampering rules are off.
Oh.
It used to be until the transaction went through and he appeared on the wire, you couldn't call the agent, you couldn't call a player. It would happen, but it was technically illegal. Now, by the Jets posting that statement, people can work on a deal right now with Aaron Rodgers. He can't go in, he can't visit, he can't work out or anything like that. But you can have discussions, and hypothetically, he could have his place locked in today.
So this was a favor to Aaron, essentially.
I mean, they met with him a week ago.
No, I understand that. But if the Jets wanted to make it difficult, they could. Instead, they put this out, which means you can have, even though they made it official to Aaron a couple last week.
Right.
You know, that's why I'm saying
they wanted to do
why
this.
Tweet something out?
What I was told was they wanted to do this the right way. They didn't want it to leak out over the weekend that they had parted ways with him because they wanted to give him time to think about what is it he wants to do next. I mean, maybe Aaron after that meeting goes, I think I'm going to retire. And then it's a different type of a statement. So after they met with him last week, they wanted to give him a few days. The word leaks out. But they wanted to, listen, the guy's a 4-time NFL MVP. It clearly did not work out for anybody involved over the last couple of years with the Jets, but they still wanted to treat him a certain way. They tried to do things the correct way for, a future Hall of Famer here who now is going into the darkness of being a free agent for the first time in his life.
Interesting choice of words. I picked it up.
Hello,
I saw what you did.
friend.
So, though, what was the mechanics of the communication? Like, get on a plane, come on out here, and we'll see if there's any there.
So,
or
okay,
what,
here's my understanding of what happened.
Yes.
Which was they had been talking. There were a lot of different things. Aaron Glenn gets hired, Darren Muji gets hired. This is all in the last few weeks. So this is all recent.
Moving
so
parts.
they had initiated some conversations and talking with him. The odds were always that Aaron Rodgers was not going to be back, but they wanted to make sure they talked through, hey, if you did come back, what would that look like? And, the Jets had to have their internal discussions and figure these things out. Then it was, hey, I'm playing in this golf tournament, the Waste Management, whatever, the celebrity day on the Wednesday. I'm going to be in Jersey after that. And they're like, great, come over to the office. They bring him over to the office, they have the discussion, and they inform him we're going to be moving in a different direction. But it's not like they said, hey, can you get on this plane to fly here so we can fire you? That wasn't really
this is why I'm asking these questions.
The backdrop.
What about the construct of what the relationship would look like? It was communicated to him every single practice that there is. We need you here at age 41, and no McAfee.
Well,
was that told to him?
Again, I believe this is overstated.
Mm-hmm.
There were no ultimatums. It was not, hey, here's what you're going to do, take it or leave it. You're not allowed to do that, for one thing, under the collective bargaining agreement. You can't technically restrict, you can't require anybody to show up for voluntary practices, and you can't restrict outside media activities. But you could have a conversation about commitment and things like that. And these are all different things they were talking about, again, both internally and when they were having conversations with Aaron Rodgers. I believe if he were back, that would have been the setup. But it's not as if, hey, take it or leave it. It did not get to that point from my understanding. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of different things that were discussed about what it would take, what it would make sense. Listen, it would be the first time he's ever coming back and learning a different offense. You got a first-time offensive coordinator there in Tanner Engstrom, who's younger than Rodgers. You would need the guy around. But ultimately, they arrived at the decision this was not going to work. The argument for bringing Aaron Rodgers back would have been it gives you optionality in terms of what you do at the quarterback position. It removes some of the pressure to either draft a guy and start him immediately, which they've already been down that road with Zach Wilson, or to go out and get a different veteran quarterback. But you would have had to negotiate a pay cut. You would have had to do a lot of different things. It made the most sense for them to say, we're starting fresh.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.